Hi, good morning, everyone. Today is October 5th, 2020, Thursday. I would like to bring you through the recap of what's going on yesterday in the market and also give you the outlook, what's going to something to know before the bell. A conclusive presidential election result could take a few days or more to materialize and could very well ratchet up market volatility. Republicans likely control Senate and boost their House majority. Such a divided government would make any Biden administration plans difficult to pass, such as large fiscal stimulus, corporate tax hikes. We don't know that yet at this point. Dow surged 360 points and Nasdaq hit higher since April as investors shrugged off the undecided election yesterday. Canada stocks trade lower on Wednesday despite for U.S. state voting to legalize the drug for recreational sales. Well, the reason why it was lower because some of these big name symbol were actually Canadian stock, Canadian, well, yeah, which was not benefit from the vote of this legislation. The prospect of a Republican-controlled Senate also led to a spike in fossil fuel stock and a drop in green energy stock on yesterday morning. Interesting enough, market reached differently afternoon and energy stocks such as XPEV, NIO went up a lot higher. Tesla stock largely set out Wednesday's big stock market value, dipping 0.7% to and hatching back lower. That's in sharp contrast to other big cap tech as well as China EV rivals. As you can see the screen, which is kind of looking at the trend, a previous week, you can see that the market have been going down really big time, and in Dow particularly, again, that last week Wednesday it was dipping 900 points in one day, and you can see the dip. But then you can see the series and really 3 days in a row that sharp increase in rally to pick it up. And this morning P-market was also up as well, which S&P was up about 1.9%. Nasdaq is another 293 points up, and Dow is another 1.5%, 429 points up, which then you actually bring everything back to a very high level, which we can pay attention to see if we can hit the, very close to 52-week high, and definitely, again, over 50 days average again. Those of Wall Street firm just reversed its bearish call on S&P 500. We still need to be careful and mindful about possible volatility and downward dip. Mizuho Bank reiterate its view that the S&P 500 will reach between 3,800 and 4,000 by the end of 2021, regardless of election outcome. However, the probability of a contest result cannot be excluded, given the multiplicity of ways that a close result could be challenged in U.S. court, which actually Biden was really leading. I would say in the next Trump already made some statements that and actually have some work being done on the court area already. So what's my view? Market is always full of surprise, especially when individual investors thought the market is strong and will rally back to a year high, which we have seen it many times in history. So the higher than normal unemployment rate, the realistic view of economic challenge, potential poll tax in the U.S. different area, which make it unrest, high number of COVID-19 cases that's still in question how to control them and contain them, and earning announcement on some companies that's still not done. These are all the factors that are still causing the market down. In fact, we don't know the number of unemployment initial file claims yet, and maybe that would driving the market disappointment if it was way off, but it could be better too. Again, I don't have inside information, but it should be released very shortly in 15 minutes on this result. And also the FOMC meeting, which can driving, whether the expectation interest rate will remains to be close to zero and inflation is still going to stay at 2%. But if any policy changes, could driving, could be make the market view it positive or negative. That also can make a changes of today's market, even though the P market showing remain very strong and rally. By the end of this week, which is tomorrow, we should get a bigger picture what going to look like next week, what Trump is going to do progressing in a court ruling on these number counts, and also I'll give you guys some insight, discuss some few stuff that can consider, take a look, and they should be worth buying for while this volatility continues. Results for the presidential race are still outstanding in 4 states and market on the edge. Joe Biden actually edged closer to victory in the U.S. presidential election, with the key state of Wisconsin and Michigan both going to Democratic Party's nominee by slim margins. Biden just needs 6 more electoral votes. At this point, he had 200, 261, 264, and still have the state of Pennsylvania, Georgia, Nevada, and North Carolina, and Arizona still counting. While Arizona technical is already declared victory of Biden, Democratic victory, but it's still more counting going on just to make sure it's right. And despite lawsuit filed by Donald Trump already legal term to stop the counting, and there are still things going on with that. So global share extend rally on mixed U.S. election expectations. U.S. dollar declines despite escalating treasury. Bitcoin hits its highest level since January 2018. WTI crude dropped a little bit to a current price of 38.82 this morning. The Bank of England said it will pump more cash into the struggling UK economy. More lockdown weeks before Brexit mean growth will suffer even more for this year. So that's the reason why they are trying to pump more money, just like US. On the data docket, the Federal Reserve released its decision on US interest rate weekly. Initial jobless count, monthly challenge job cut, and forward treasury bill auction are scheduled. Morgan Stanley said defense stock looked cheap following the election. If you pay attention to yesterday, the 3 gun stock that actually went down. You have to look at the rationale why that happened, and part of it because if Biden's winning, the rationale is that, well, then there's no change of the law. That means in the United States you're entitled still going to buy the gun anytime you want. I think now you need a registration, correct me if I'm wrong, one day earlier before you can pick up the gun. So that is the rule that a law being added to make sure people don't get upset and just go buy a gun and shot somebody by mistake. Alibaba, AstraZeneca, GM, Papa John's, Vista Outdoor report result before U.S. market open. We should have the result out already, but I don't have it with me. Booking Holdings, Caesars Entertainment, Cloudflare, Live Nation, Peloton, which is another one that I have recommended a long time ago in my video or when I share with my friend. The stock was still very strong, over $110. Square, Uber, and Zillow follow after the bell. If you like what I just said in the video, please be sure to subscribe and put comments and give me the like. Thank you for your support.